that there were grounds then, but they didn't make it clear to the judge. And again, in this instance, we have the same thing. They are not making it clear to the judge exactly the nature of the violation. They're not saying, hey, this was done because she gave him the unredacted version. Why the fuck aren't they saying that? Why aren't they saying, why is that in the question? They let the judge just skip over that because the witness knows. That's why he's saying it. He's like, nah, I just read it from this paper right here. Like the one she gave me that doesn't have the fucking redactions. That one. Why would you give him that? And that's your basis for a prejudicial motion. You want a motion to dismiss with prejudice because they keep engaging in this conduct. You saw what happened in the trial with your boy Alex Baldwin, right?
Mm-hmm.
That judge was not having no parts of the fuck shit. That judge was like, hold up. Y'all didn't turn over the what? The Brady. Wait, exculpatory material? You said it was a what? An oversight. Yeah, fuck you. Dismissed. Dismiss that whole case. Because that is the appropriate remedy. That is the proper remedy. Especially when these violations are repeated. And that's why I don't watch this trial, because this shit gets me hot.
But there are a lot of people around the world that's watching
yelling at the TV, like, say something. I just want you to say something, baby.
Well, Judge is about to say something. Let's see what she got to say. Okay, turn the sound off. Okay, I'm reading lips.
I think so. Am I? You know my deaf ass. I'm like, hold up. I think I
know what she's saying.
I think I hear her, right?
Okay, here she's saying we have to do something today because everyone is watching us on Twitter and YouTube.
Yeah, shut up, Dennis. She's not saying that. Absolutely. Who is this she's talking to? Who is she talking to? Who is this woman?
She's talking to her staff attorney, Miss Lara. Miss Lara. Miss Lara. I'll just say Miss Lara.
Yeah, I need some more time with this. I'll be able to sit there and decipher what she's saying.
Okay, so she's saying call Glanville and ask him, you know what. Okay, hold on.
Oh God.
Turn the mic on. Here she go. She's pondering. How should I say this without offending anyone? And look, oh my God, Ingram, first of all, what are you doing there? You're not part of the freaking. What are you doing, sir? What's going on?
You need to know what to do with the witness.
Okay, he voted. I see that vote. I voted button. Is that a voted button?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. He got that look on his face like, what do we do? What do we do?
Yeah, and where do we go?
The media's watching.
Which way do we go?
Okay, Judge.
Maybe I'll come up with.
All right, wait, hold on, Matthews. Before you say we have a stipulation, Judge, once you rule on our mistrial,
right,
on my motion for mistrial.
Okay, so are you asking, what kind of a mistrial are you asking for?
Your Honor, I believe that we were goaded into the mistrial.
Okay, well, I do not believe that, because
You didn't understand the question.
seen Ms. Hilton's face when that came out of the witness's mouth, she was appalled.
Really?
And I do not believe that they are purposefully trying to insert error into this trial to make y'all ask for a mistrial so that they can try this case again. I think it is continued, and I am sorry, y'all have, this gigantic, ginormous universe of evidence that maybe if you narrow down, you would not be making these kinds of mistakes. But I believe that to be a mistake.
Your Honor,
So I'm going to deny a motion for a mistrial with prejudice. That one, I don't believe that the facts bear out. Would you like a mistrial without prejudice?
Highlight how it's not a
would?
mistake. See, this is dumb shit.
Who else would? That means, of course, that the state would be free to try every one of y'all again.
Judge, just a moment.
Sure.
Is she going to release them on bail if she does that? That's the other question.
That's the question.
Right.
That is the question.
Because if they got to sit there for another trial, that's not going to be ready for another 2 years. Come the fuck on, Judge. Like, oh man, these people.
So the fact that let's try to interpret this the way that just went down. Just think about how it just went down just now. She says, no, I'm not going to rule. I'm not going to give a mistrial with prejudice. Would you like to have a mistrial without prejudice?
Right.
So she knows,
and then proceeds to tell them what that means, like they don't fucking know.
right.
I can't
Right.
stand that shit.
Right.
I can't stand that shit. Like, seriously, do not talk to me like I don't have the same fucking degree you got.
Yeah. So
It's insulting.
it's very insulting, but I'm tell you what happens. So when that happened, I'll tell you, I will bring the judge back on the
But
bench.
this is, again, I'm going back to my point where advocacy, zealous advocacy. Why is no one challenging her on the fact that Ms. Hilton gave this witness an unredacted copy and set this witness up with the way she questioned him to specifically answer in that manner?
Right.
Why is
She did that.
nobody's making that argument?
Well, I think they're going
Even the witness himself said, I read it from right from this paper.
and she didn't direct him to the screen. She didn't do that.
This is
Why would
what
she
I'm
give-
saying. This is so the fiend shock and surprise, the fiend shock and awe, because you know the
was
judge is watching you. So you do the,
Right. So
bullshit.
exactly the
Come
theatrics.
on with this bull, right?
She
It's
acted-
performative,
Right. She asked him, "What is the what's the next hashtag?"
right?
So what did she think he was going to say?
Right.
His eyes going left to right, left to right.
Exactly.
So what did
And
she think?
the defense was right there when she asked that question after he read the hashtag right before the prohibited part. Why didn't they object? Why didn't they object and say, hey, I would have objected up to the judge. It looks like she might be trying to ask him to elicit something that he shouldn't say.
But that's their witness. I get it.
That's not their witness. That's not the defense witness. The
I'm saying-
defense should have objected.
No, what I'm saying, that's the prosecution's witness.
Right. Which is
maybe they wanted that to happen so the judge can do a mistrial with prejudice.
Maybe.
With prejudice.
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that. I
A
can't
mistrial
imagine
with
that.
prejudice. Of course, what defense wouldn't want that?
No, the defense would, but the people wouldn't.
No. I'm saying that the defense would let that go because they probably wanted the judge for him to screw up so they can ask for a mistrial with prejudice.
Why would you take that? Why would you take that gamble with a lawyer? With a judge who has not considered seriously any of your prior motions for a mistrial? Why would you think that this was the one? So let me not say anything. That is not how you protect the record. That's not how you go forward. That's some fucking sloppy shit. That's
Okay, so
sloppy.
how do you
That is a
How
gamble.
would you propose if you had to argue this tomorrow when the case resumes?
Right.
The lawyers are going to huddle tonight and they're going to all talk about this and what the significance of each lawyer and their client. Each client. Each client has a different situation. Like Radarius Ryan, he's in jail for murder right now.
For murder, exactly. He's not going anywhere. I get that.
Right. So, young Doug, like, when you ask in your motion for without prejudice, mistrial without prejudice, that your client gets a bond, would you argue for that?
Of course. That goes without saying. That goes without saying. But I would come back and argue for a motion for a mistrial with prejudice. And I would lay out why it should be done with prejudice. Specifically, I would highlight the fact that this witness was provided by the people a piece of evidence that has the prohibited portion. Why would she deliberately give this to the witness?
Right.
When there is
And
a
not school him.
right, when there's a redacted copy, and not direct him to answer his question based on the piece of evidence that's in evidence. Why would you even introduce something that's not in evidence? Why would you even be using that?
And prior to that, and like, people in the comment are watching, I do recall that Ms. Westmoreland said that Ms. Hilton discussed that she was going to redact that. She was going to redact it.
So somebody said they didn't know he was reading from it, but how did he get it? The witness doesn't walk up to the stand with a bunch of shit. Not these witnesses. They're not cops, detectives. They don't have reports and shit.
They put it right in front of them.
Exactly. Thank you. And I haven't watched the trial, but I know that this motherfucker didn't just have that shit in his pocket.
Yeah,
hold on, let me see, because I remember that day I got a copy of it. I got my own copy. Like that didn't happen.
And he says before he leaves the stand,
he said, I read it right off the paper. He
Right.
said that. He knows exactly what he's.
She never directed him to look at a monitor. She told him to. Then even if he looked at the monitor, why would you have something unredacted in front of him and then something makes no sense?
It makes unless
they was trying to trigger him to go to the paper.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the argument that needs to be made. That this was not inadvertent. That this is some surreptitious bullshit that they've been doing and continue to do. Right? Because it's inexcusable that this witness would even have had anything that is unredacted before him while he is testifying. That makes absolutely no sense. That's not sloppiness. That's not sloppiness. Because the exhibit that's in evidence, he could have testified from that.
What do you take from the judge telling the jurors not to come back tomorrow when they were scheduled to be back tomorrow?
That this is going to be a lot of arguments. It's going to be a lot of legal arguments that have to be dealt with and addressed. And she doesn't want the jury sitting around. No judge likes to have a jury sitting around doing nothing. So she knows that this is going to be probably a protracted argument. She's likely going to have to hear from all of the defense attorneys. They will want their argument on the record and preserved for appellate review. And I would make a long fucking record, man. I would be like, this witness came into the courtroom at so-and-so time, and he was asked these questions. Miss Hilton provided him with an unredacted copy of a piece of evidence that's already in evidence.
You should have never seen that.
He should never have seen that. And that, Judge, you cannot say was inadvertent. That's not an inadvertent act. She deliberately gave him that. And then she inquired, and when she wasn't satisfied with the answers that he gave, she pushed him even further. She pushed him right to the come on. So despite what the court says about Miss Hilton's fiend surprise, we're not buying it as the defense. We're not buying it. Right? We're not buying it. What we do have is what actually happened. Not her response to what happened, but what she actually did. And that was improper, and it should not be countenanced by this court. And if you don't send a message to Fulton County, to the Fulton County DA's office, Judge, then every citizen in Fulton County is going to be in danger of these types of proceedings.
Absolutely.
You are the gatekeeper, Judge. You're the gatekeeper, and you need to make sure that the Fulton County District Attorney's Office is sent a very strong and stern message that this type of behavior will not be tolerated. And I would go to fuck in. I would be going in.
And
do you hear me?
The jurors are sitting around waiting. And then if there's a mistrial without prejudice, you got to call you have to panel of new jurors. You got to go through the whole voir dire process, and now the prosecution get a second bite at the apple to get it right.
Yeah, I mean that's the downside, right? That's the downside. Or they don't try it again. They don't try it because it's a clusterfuck.
Right.
They just say, you know what, we don't have it. We don't have it. Or Fani loses. Fani loses the election, and a new DA is like, we're not doing that.
So I see.
So if I'm
someone-
the defense attorney and I have to decide whether I want a mistrial, and the judge is just not going to give it to me without prejudice, I will take it with I will take. She won't give it to me with prejudice. I'll take it without prejudice, and I'm going to make a motion to release my client. I'm going to make a bail application, and if you don't grant it, I'm going to file a fucking writ. There's got to be, I don't know the procedural mechanisms, but there has got to be a writ, a habeas corpus writ that you can fucking file when someone is being detained improperly or excessively. That's got to be ripe for this case.
So let me ask you a question. So she does it without prejudice. Doesn't it still fall on the prosecution for even to do that? But it seems like
No.
without prejudice, it falls on the defense.
No, when it's without prejudice, that just means the prosecution has to make a determination as to whether or not they want to retry the case.
But the prosecution triggered this motion they triggered it based on
which is why it should be with prejudice.
Right. So judge,
because this is a pattern of conduct. This is not an isolated event. And that's also part of what I would be arguing when I show up tomorrow. Like, Judge, this is not just an isolated event. This is not a one-off. Right? This is a pattern of conduct that the court has already addressed and already admonished them for.
We just
not only did you address them, admonish them, and send them back to school, right? Then she send them to classes or something like you gotta go learn some shit. Right. And none of that, everything that you've done up until this point, none of that has influenced or affected their procedural posture, their procedural technique. None of it. None of it. Nothing you say is resonating with this prosecution judge. Nothing. They have to make it about her. They have to make it so that she understands that she does not have any authority in this courtroom, that they are laughing at her. That you know what I mean? That's how they got to say, Judge, every time you have given them a chance after chance after chance, and they know that you are not going to admonish them in any real way. They know it. Which is why the behavior continues. They're not afraid that you're going to grant any type of motion to dismiss. They're going to have to give her prejudice.
They're going to have to give her the Glanville effect. They got to turn it up now. At this point, it's obvious that this judge is a former prosecutor, and she's prosecuting leaning.
A lot of judges are. That's just standard. That's part for the course. And criminal defense attorneys, you know you are going up against a second prosecutor on the bench often. And you know what you do is you try to win them over. And if you're successful, then they'll be a little bit more fair.
We have one of the justices, Ketanji Brown. She is a former public defender. She's on the defense side. She made it to the Supreme Court, which is a beautiful thing. Who else is on the Supreme Court that has that come from a defense stamp background?
No, but you remember though, during the hearings, they were trying to tear her ass up about that. They were like, and you took cases where you defended people who were accused of horrible things. Like, bitch, that's my fucking job. So, like, you know what I mean? If you really, this is the thing that gets me. These are the people who like to pretend that they are staunch advocates for the Constitution. Right. Okay. The Constitution says that this person is entitled to a zealous defense, right? They're entitled to counsel. So I'm doing my job. And you want to vilify me for that? Come on. Ooh, someone in the timeline chat said the defense was in Fannie's office after court.
Yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't even be surprised if they came back and was like, everybody can take a deal and everybody's gonna get 2 years time served. Yeah.
I mean,
because they don't want to try this again. So it's a win for Fani if she gets these convictions. So if she can say, listen, we will offer how much time you got in? You got in 2 years? All right. He could take a plea and I'll offer him 2 years.
What plea?
Who's going to turn that down? Who's turning that down?
Well, Thug has no criminal record, so why would he
So
take
what?
that?
Because he's been in for 2 years.
Okay, so what plea would you think that they would make sense for a Thug to take with no
You could take
criminal
a
record?
conspiracy plea. Plead to conspiracy.
That's a felony.
So fucking what? What the fuck does he care? Well, that's going to stop his job. He ain't going to be able to get a job because he got a fucking felony. No, that probably will increase his notoriety, and he'll come out rapping about now how he is a felon. That's
Well,
fine.
you know, I just
That's
thought
fine
about
for him.
something. I just thought about something. I'm covering also the election interference, and those the pleas that were given, they have after 5 years, that gets off their record.
Yeah, they want to. Oh, so gets off their record by what? Expunged? There's a rule in Georgia.
Yeah, well, they take a first offender, and they get in no trouble in 5 years, and they're restored.
Sealed.
Yeah,
Oh,
sealed.
well, that's wonderful.
They can get that to Doug. Give him the first offender.
Sure.
I think that looks good. Ladies, we just came out with
still gonna have a felony though, right? Under that program.
I don't know. I gotta get Griggs on this one because he knows local law.
Right.
But I think that would be a good option. The other ones.
So what I'm saying is that the collateral consequences that are present for just about any other person are not present for Young Thug. Right? Most people who are like, okay, if I get a felony, I'm not going to be able to get a job, and he doesn't have traditional work.
Right. He's going to be out of here.
He's going to be fine if he has a felony. So if the choice is take a felony now and get time served, right? Because they can run it non-pro-tunc. Non-pro-tunc means that it will relate back and you will get credit for all the time that you were in, right? That's one. Take that plea. Or we're going to dismiss this without prejudice, and the prosecution is going to try it again, and you're going to sit in jail until they do.
So someone said, can a person be tried again after a motion for a speedy trial has already been filed? Well, we be on a speedy trial.
Filed doesn't mean granted.
Right.
Filed means that was requested. So speedy trial motion, unless it's granted and the case is dismissed, then double jeopardy attaches. All right. So right now, double jeopardy has not attached. So if this judge dismisses this case without prejudice, that means double jeopardy has not attached and they can retry this case.
Deborah C. said felons can't use their passport. A lot of countries you can't go into. He's a touring artist, not international touring artist.
You can get waivers.
Not in Canada.
You can get all kinds of artist waivers and things like that. And so what? Don't fucking tour out the country. Wait your 5 years until you can get your expungement. Play the United States. There's plenty of money here. I mean, that's not going to be the thing. I think that you want to sit up in jail for a couple more years while this shit plays out.
You're Brian Still, and you're in Fonnie Willis's office, and you know the judge is about to grant a motion for a mistrial. I just lost
mistrial without prejudice. Without prejudice.
You're in the office. You're there, sitting, looking at Fonnie in the face, and this is election season. What will be your conversation, Fonnie? Hey, Fonnie, listen. You see what's about to happen.
You know you want these. You want convictions, don't you? Okay. So here's the deal. We will take a D felony to conspiracy. I'm just saying what the equivalent is here in New York. Conspiracy, attempted conspiracy, something like that. D as in David felony in New York. That's one of the lower felonies. It goes from A to E. So somewhere in there, mid-range, a non-incarceratorial sentence where basically I'm going to get credit for everything I already served. And essentially the sentence would be time served so that I would be getting out the same day I take the plea or however long it takes for them to process me. I don't know what how long it takes, but the court could grant him release pending sentence if he takes a plea, right? Because usually you have to come back to be sentenced, or because he's already done the time, they could waive all of those, pre-sentence reports and sentence him then on the spot, right? They could do that. Yeah. I know we can do it here. We can waive pre-sentence reports and sentence you on the spot if the circumstance warranted. And so that could be the case. That could be the conversation. That would be the conversation I'd be having.
TJ's right. There are two murders in this case. There are two murders in this case.
So fucking what? So what? So I'm not saying so that because people died. that does not preclude him from taking a plea to something other than what's charged in the indictment. Doesn't preclude him. Doesn't preclude him at all.
And the people are talking, and I see some of the comments coming in. Doug's been sitting up for a long time. He wants to get back home to his mother, his woman, his family.
They're saying Thug is the only one who got out. He's out already? What do you mean?
No, he's not out. Got it. Said got it.
Got
Speedy
it.
trial. Speedy trial. That's what I'm saying. He's not out. What
Oh.
about Wingo versus Barker, excessive delays? And I don't know that case.
It's not excessive delays. This trial is going on right now. It's
Right.
not delayed.
So let's look at Yacht Gotti, for example. Yacht Gotti just came home from doing 5 years on a gun case, federal. He did federal time.
Mm-hmm.
So he too, if he took a plea, they all have to get time served, no matter what. Everyone. That's the deal. No one's taking a plea for any time.
Right. I think that might be, and people think that Thug won't go for that, but you ain't sitting in Rice Street. You're not sitting there. You're not at the Fulton County Jail. You don't know what that's like.
Right.
You know what I mean? So all that standing on business shit, that shit crumbles when the motherfucker, y'all, come on.
And it's coming to the holidays. You got Thanksgiving coming around. People want to be home for Thanksgiving.
People want to be home. I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if they came back and some of the people in this trial took pleas and went the fuck home.
Who would stay in and say, "Hey, I'm going to fight this"? The
ones that are already staying in,
right.
So you got D. Williams's client; he's in for murder. He ain't got nothing to lose,
right? And he
ain't got nothing to lose.
Yeah, the evidence against him looks kind of
very, very
strong.
Is it strong? I thought it was non-existent, but I don't know. I haven't been really, I've been tangentially following this trial, so I don't really know how strong the evidence is against him. But he, like I said, he has nothing to lose, so he could very well say, you know what, I'm not part of the motion to dismiss. I'd like for my case to go.
Shout out to Pam in the building. Pammy's shouting you out, Ike. She loves.
What's up, Pam? Thank you, Pam.
She's out in the NO. She was supposed to get on this, so she's out in the NO. I said, don't. I said, pull over.
Okay.
Don't pull over in NO. I was down there for the at post Katrina, and I wasn't pulling over too many places except for what's that? Draco on Canal Street. Go get some of those oysters, those baked oysters. I dropped her the link.
So Edward said, "What do you mean? After 2 years, this isn't an excessive delay attributed to the state?" Edward, they are on trial. A delay would be they are not on trial. They are on trial. What delay are you talking about?
No delay.
What delay? They're on trial.
What trial have you been watching?
Right. They're on trial. They've been on trial. We're like day 150 something, right?
150. Yeah. 150.
So what delay? So that's the problem. Some people perceive that because the trial isn't going as fast
what happens
as they would like. That's not what delay means under the law.
Okay, so this is a good question. I know the answer, but I want Ike to answer. Antonio Sledge he got violated this last week for probation violation. Mm-hmm. What happens to him? What happens to him if nothing? He does what he has to do. Why
would anything change? His situation is not changing.
Not at all.
He gonna hold that 5.
Hold that 5.
He gonna hold that 5.
Someone asked a question today.
It doesn't affect him.
If there's a new trial, you do think the prosecution would call Sledge again? Now that they violated?
That's the one that got banned. Oh, Sledge. I doubt they would call him again.
Oh.
Yeah. I doubt he'd be a cooperative witness. Besides, he has they have nothing on him now. So you know what I mean? They don't have an agreement that he has to testify under. That's the only reason he was testifying in the first place, is because he had to.
Agreement.
Right. And so now that's done.
If he gets on the stand again, if they call him again, he does the same thing. They goes, "Hey, hold his other 5." He has 30 years.
They're not gonna be able to do that again. Yeah, no. Right.
So they already got convictions in this case. But here's the other thing: they have the other defendants under this indictment. They haven't even tried yet. You have you have a bunch of defendants that they haven't even tried.
Still waiting. Yeah.
What happens with them?
This doesn't affect them at all.
I know.
This doesn't affect them at all. I mean, listen, there's probably another 3 or 4 prosecutors somewhere preparing that case for trial. I can't imagine they're going to use the same prosecutors. These prosecutors are burnt the fuck out. They're burnt out. So there'll be another set of prosecutors trying the part 2, YSL part 2. And if this is dismissed without prejudice, whoever it didn't take a plea by tomorrow will probably be lumped up with that second trial.
Would the judge be on this? Would there be the same judge if there's a retrial?
It depends on
Go back on the
how
wheel.
judges are selected with the, they usually it's a wheel so that no one, is forum shopping and you can't, choose the judge you want to be in front of. So it should be randomly assigned. So
Guess what judge probably won't get picked? Glanville.
it won't be Glanville. That's for certain. I'm sure his ass. Oh man. And I was really, let me just say this as an aside. I was disappointed that the Supreme Court did not tear him a new one. They didn't admonish him. They didn't comment on his behavior. Nothing. They gave a straight old decision. Nothing. And I was disappointed about that. And they had an opportunity there. They had an opportunity, right? Because judges are the gatekeepers. And if you have a judge who clearly does not either know his role or know the law.
Jeffrey's in Cobb County, not DeKalb County. He's in Cobb County.
Jeffrey. Who's Jeffrey?
Young Thug, Jeffrey Williams. Young Thug.
Oh, he's in Cobb. What you mean he's in Cobb County?
He's being detained. He's being detained in Cobb County. He's not in.
Oh, they moved him?
No, he's been in Cobb County.
He's always. I thought he was at Rice Street.
No.
He
was okay. He always went to Cobb.
He was always in Cobb. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My bad.
He said they burnt us for sure. Who burned us? They agreed unanimously about Grant. It's Glanville, not Granville. Granville. He's on some grand stuff, but not. He ain't on this one. So I'm going to read a few more questions. Okay.
Melly Mistrial wasn't from Evers from the state. You don't know what I think that's an internal chat conversation.
D, he's still typing Granville. What do you got?
D, Glanville.
Glanville. Glanville. You don't do that to me. Are you about to lose your wrench? And I'm just kidding.
You're so stupid. Right. TJ said, wow, I forgot there are more people. Yes, a lot of people probably forgot that there are a lot more people waiting to be tried on this.
And they're
nonsense.
watching this. They're watching how this case goes.
Of course they are.
They're cross. You got people
in a cross reference.
Cross reference.
Yes,
you have defendants.
Yes.
You have like, for example, you have the gentleman who was accused of shooting up Lil Wayne's bus. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, it's a lot to be done. And the judge knows that there are other defendants waiting in the wings as well. That could be part of why she's offering it dismissal without prejudice, because she knows they got to try another YSL RICO case anyway.
And guess who will be coming back? Detective Dennis in another. Judge says he can't come back in her courtroom, but he can come back in someone else's courtroom. So they may want this too. I don't know, but this is
they may want it because they did lose some of their testimony, and it is going very, very.
I will be there tomorrow.
Not going well for them. It's a lot of considerations, right? Because obviously, if they take a plea, then they can't appeal.
Right.
You can't appeal. Any DEA that offers you a plea is going to also ask you to waive your right to appeal.
Right. I'm inclined to agree with you on that, because I know that Steve Sedal negotiated Gunner's plea, and part of his plea was can't appeal.
You can't appeal. Yeah, it's not uncommon. Not uncommon. It's par for the course.
And he's out there working. And, to your point again, he's out there working and he's doing numbers on the board. Mm-hmm. And he has this old thug saying, "Hey, I'm going to get onto it myself."
Right.
So I think still they got still Adams, Shaw, Harvey, all of them. They're seasoned attorneys. They can negotiate something, because this is what the judge. You know what I feel? Judge is frustrated. She wants this thing over with. She doesn't want to just.
Yeah, I get that. But again, just because you're close to victory doesn't mean you stop fighting. And
Mhm.
you can't just lay down because you think that the judge is going to give you a mistrial. Fight for the mistrial with prejudice. Fight for it. Make the argument. Make the argument and show the judge exactly what Ms. Hilton did and how the court can't just extrapolate from a facial expression and
Right.
overlook her actions.
That part. And they
You know
need
what I
to
mean?
hone,
You can't.
they need to hone in on that
I
tomorrow.
don't know how she gets around that. Make her put that on the record. Why did you give this witness an unredacted copy of the exhibit? That's how we got here. That's how we got here.
And I keep saying to myself, like, why is it even in front of him?
Why is it even in front?
It's
Because
like,
you're
oh,
showing
yeah,
him
okay.
the same exhibit on the screen. You're
It should
showing
have-
it to him.
It should have mirrored what was on his desk. If for any reason,
Exactly.
it should have
Why would
mirrored-
you give him something different than what was on the screen?
Now it's sloppy.
That's not sloppiness.
That's not sloppy. That's intentional.
No, it's not. That's intentional. It's an artful deception. It's artful deception.
Artful deception.
And you're falling for it, Judge. You're falling for it. You continue to fall for it. And, you look crazy falling for it. But again, I would go, part of being an attorney is not to just argue on behalf of your client, but you also want to argue policy issues that might affect other people who are similarly situated. Right. And so that's why I'm saying that the court that these defense attorneys needs to really press upon the court her role as a gatekeeper, the message that she needs to send to not just the district attorneys that are sitting in this trial, but the ones that are watching, the district attorneys that are watching, so that this behavior is not repeated.
Okay, this is an interesting comment. I can read that.
I keep hearing about the rights of the defendants, but I don't hear about the rights of the victims who are either dead or testified to being seriously hurt. What rights would they have? What rights do they have? They have the right to come to court and be heard if they're alive. And if they're not, their family has the right to come to court and be heard. And simply because someone is a victim or is dead does not mean that anyone should be held accountable for that. Right? We've got to get away from the fact of thinking that someone should be punished and that someone should be anyone. No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Simply because someone is injured or dead doesn't mean anyone should pay. It just doesn't. And it doesn't alleviate the people of their burden. It doesn't alleviate the people of their burden to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. It just doesn't. And if they fail in their burden, then people get to go home.
You get to go home.
You get to go home. Right. And so I'm not being callous about it, but the rights of victims are not paramount, unfortunately, for the commenter. It's not paramount. It is a consideration. It is a factor.
It is up to the state to prove that the people that are sitting in that courtroom on the defense side, that they are the ones that are responsible. That's
Right.
the people, and the people have to do the right thing. They can't cheat to win, and they have to be able to present a case that is appellate proof.
Now, the only other thing I will say is that the consideration with respect to victims is a prosecutor's consideration, because they have to convince these people to come back and testify about shit they already did. And half of these witnesses were like, y'all almost made me lose my goddamn job.
Mhm.
Right. Or I was harassed, or I was sexually harassed by your investigator.
It's a lot that went wrong.
It's just like so many things.
It's too much in this case that went wrong.
So that's a consideration for prosecutors, right? Because, but they got to try it again anyway. So that really defeats my brother. You know what? Never mind. I withdraw that statement because they have to try this case again anyway.
Well, they don't have to if it's with prejudice, and the judge.
Now, they have to try it for the other defendants.
Right, they do.
That's what I mean. So the victims, or I'm not sure who you are identifying as a victim, but the victims would have to come testify again anyway.
Someone said Nuts family know the state lied to them about who shot him. That's why they stopped coming to court.
Mm.
Yeah. That was something. And there was another witness that got on the stand that obviously thought that the man with the guy with the half a face, half a head. You remember that witness? You guys didn't get a chance to see him on camera, but yeah. Or did we see him on camera? I think we did see him.
I see a comment that said Thug definitely doesn't want a felony. I get that. I'm not at all suggesting that anyone wants a felony. But when you between a rock and a hard place, right? When you're back up against the wall and your dick is in the dust, there's some hard choices you have to make. I was waiting for you to respond to that one, Dennis. You was a little slow on that one.
Oh no. Okay, listen, this is after hours, ladies and gentlemen. This is not
right.
This is not PG.
Right.
This is where we turn up.
Oh God.
Dexter Montgomery.
You gotta make hard choices. And so I wouldn't be surprised if he felt, the need to just, take that L, take that F, so that he could get out and move on with his life.
And I will say this. I know, Mr. Still, you're probably going to see this and you're probably going to disagree with me, but I don't think Thug has clean hands either. I don't think so. I'm going to say this.
That's neither here nor there.
No, I get that, but I still,
what? Saying it for what? What's the point?
I'm saying it back in the day, he might have been moving reckless, but he's cleaned up his act and people change.
Right, right. People do change.
So he can chalk this off of, hey, I made this some, silly stuff back in my,
back in the day. Right.
Yeah, right. This is where I am. I've been trying to turn people's lives around.
Right. Right.
That's what he's been doing. He's been, from testimony I heard, he's been telling people, listen,
and he can still do that. Right. He can do that with a felony.
Yeah, he can do a lot.
He can do those with those things with a felony. And most places, and I'm not sure about the law in Georgia, you can still vote so long as you're not incarcerated. In some places, so long you're not on paper. Right. So he probably can still vote.
Oh yeah, and if he gets out tomorrow, he's going to vote for.
He could go vote. If he had a federal case, he'd be voting for Trump.
And listen,
since he likes to pardon rappers.
So listen. He might. Maybe part of the deal is that he come out and talk to the youth like Tip did. Tip talked to the youth. He did. That
could be part of the sentence, some community service or something to that effect. That could be, all of that could be structured. All of that could be structured to be part of his plea agreement, right? You take a plea, your sentence is 2 years and 100 hours community service to be served in a capacity where you are counseling or talking to or working with youth from ages, 14 to 21, whatever, right? You could structure that. He could go work at a church, a group home, it's 1,000 places he could go and do that. He could establish his own community-based organization.
Right. So what? And Lil Woody's already started it. He's out there trying to save the youths and everything.
Right.
So there are opportunities.
I'm all for that.
He could
definitely he gets out tomorrow. I'm leaving Georgia forever. That city will never see me again. They can have the key back in the street sign. But why?
Oh my goodness.
I understand why. That is the old Jim Crow methodology. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure.
Okay. Hold on a second. Hold on. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube. I'm gonna drop the link. If you want to join the conversation, we have 2,700 people watching. And if you want to come on Twitter, on YouTube at Hip Hop Enquirer and join the conversation, I'm gonna drop the link. Let's have the conversation. Ask some questions of the skillful attorney, law professor, and professional golfer. Let me drop the link anyway. Let me drop this link. Hold on. Let me drop this link. This is let's join the conversation. And the person who just made that comment, I want to hear your perspective.
Yeah, talk about it. I'm curious as what you mean by that, because I'm not understanding. This is Fact Check TV, the missing voices of our community. Fact Check TV. If he gets out tomorrow, I'll leave Georgia forever. Why? Fact Check TV. You would be outraged.
I dropped the link, ladies and gentlemen. I dropped the link. Ike, I want to shift just a, and we're gonna get back to this. I want to shift a little bit. And the two women who sued,
yes,
man,
Ruby Freeman and her daughter.
They're getting his penthouse.
Yes, they are.
They're getting
yes, they are.
Luxury.
Yes. Yes,
I mean,
they got what is it? $150 million judgment?
$150 million. That
Something
part,
like
I see that part. They're literally gonna be moving in. You know, he had a nice crib in New York.
Yes, of course he did. They trying to get all of his shit. He has to divest himself of a whole, not just the condo. It's some more stuff, and they're even trying to go after like some memorabilia, some rings that he had gotten.
They're getting all that.
They're trying to get all of that. They coming back to talk about his other house. Like he's got another house. I don't know if it's in Florida or he got a vacation home. They about to try to get that.
You know what's crazy? The way their lawyers are moving. Boy, if Cardi's lawyer moved that quick, they snatching properties real quick.
They're not playing.
Okay, so we have that part, and we have brother Edwards. I see you, brother.
Good evening, brother.
Good evening.
That part, what can you offer to this conversation?
Enlighten us.
I just wanted to ask a question.
All right, let's take Edward first because he was here. Wasn't he first?
Oh, okay.
I started with him.
Okay.
I know he started. That's why I don't want to cut the brother off.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I pulled that part up first. My bad. Okay, brother Edward, go ahead.
Look, I'm kind of concerned because of that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, talking to your microphone.
Yeah, move up a little bit. It's a little bit of echoing.
I'm concerned.
You're echoing, brother.
I'm concerned based upon the fact. I'm echoing. That means.
Okay, fix your mic, and I'm gonna bring you right back up. Go ahead, that part.
All right.
Okay. My question is, if they get a mistrial without prejudice, how long would it take for them to retrial this case, being that it's costing thousands of dollars?
Millions.
Right. And that's a factor. That is a huge factor. Who knows how long it would take before they could be ready to go again, right? We got jury selection. That took a year.
Exactly.
Right? Just finding jurors who could sit for the length of time that this trial is going to take. So all of those are factors that Fani has to consider. Fani has to consider that. Maybe that's why they're in her office. Like, because if they have to retry this case and they still got that other case waiting, all these defendants are in jail, right? And so either you're going to release them until these trials are ready, or you're going to make some deals so that you don't have to have a trial.
Right, because my understanding is even if it's a mistrial, they're not going to allow them to have a bond.
Who told you that?
I think that remains to be seen.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
Judge Glanville didn't give bonds, and then some of the attorneys did ask request for bonds when Judge Whitaker came on the bench. This is a different situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a different situation.
I think the judge would seriously consider giving bonds to defendants who are eligible for release because just because of the nature of this case and the length of time it would take one to retry it, to get jury selection going. I think the court would consider that. And given the fact that they've already been in for over 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah.
So is it based on their crimes that they would consider bail, or all of them?
So it's based on the nature of the crime that they're charged with. One, it's also based on their own personal histories, not just their criminal history, but also their background, their verifiable ties to the community, things like that, to assure that they are not a danger to the community or a flight risk.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all I have. I'll go down back in the chat.
Oh,
Hey,
thank you.
Dennis.
Is up that part? That part.
Thank you.
All
Appreciate
righty.
the question.
Thank you. Brother Edward, go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening. Much better.
I'm concerned because this is the habit of the South. This is the whole habit of the South. Often some so they can go on. That's not the way Constitution works. Now, let me quote you something from Barker versus Wingo. This petitioner was not brought to trial for murder until more than 5 years after he had been arrested, during which time the prosecution obtained numerous continuances. Initially, for the purpose of first trying petitioner's alleged accomplice, so that his testimony, if conviction resulted, would be available at petitioner's trial. Before the accomplice was finally convicted, he was tried 6 times. Petitioner made no objection to the continuances until 3.5 years after he was arrested. After the accomplice was finally convicted, petitioner, after further delays because of a key prosecution witness illness, was tried and convicted. In his habeas corpus proceeding, the Court of Appeals, concluding that petitioner had waived his right to a speedy trial for the period prior to his demand for a trial, and in any event had not been prejudiced by the delay. That was the district court's affirmation. But the U.S. Supreme Court held a defendant's constitutional right to a speedy trial cannot be established by any inflexible rule, but can be determined only on an ad hoc balancing basis, in which the conduct of the prosecution and that of the defendant are weighed. The court should assess such factors as the length of and reason for the delay,
Correct.
the defense assertion of his right, and prejudice to the defendant.
Right.
Now, Barker requires a prejudice prong, because you know what they'll do? They'll turn it into a Rose versus Chapman argument.
So Edward, let me just jump in here. Edward, so this case is factually distinguishable because they're on trial. The case you're citing, is in regard to someone whose trial was delayed over and over and over and over again. That's not this case. That is not this case. So why that's not applicable? Because that's not this case.
They don't, just like you didn't know about it, they did.
You're telling me about it right now, and I'm telling you it's not applicable. It does not apply.
Why
that case, because they're on Edward, listen to me very carefully. The case that you're talking about, this guy his argument is, y'all did not give me a trial. Y'all took too long to try me.
But because of the delays. What do we got in this case?
Edward, they're on trial now.
Right.
But what about the delays? How long he been locked up?
But he's on trial now. You're missing the point.
I'm saying prior to. How long was he delayed?
There was no unreasonable delay. There was no unreasonable delay. They were in jury selection.
And then they had pre-trial.
And then they had pre-trial motion. Then they had pre-trial motion. It's not their fault that they can't find people who could sit around for a year or 2 years and do this case.
Then the court
and it started during COVID, right? Remember, people was all separated.
Edward, hold it, Edward. Hold on a second. Go ahead, Ike.
The court says, go ahead.
The case that you're citing does not apply.
Oh, it applies.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't apply. So Edward, you cannot make it apply. because he's
Okay.
on trial.
Okay,
His
let's
argument, he
get
is
to-
not going to make a speedy trial
Let's go
argument.
to the process. Let's go. I've been watching.
No. We don't have to do
We're
that.
not doing that.
Edward, we're not going to do that tonight, Edward.
I didn't even hear what he said. Let's go to the what?
Let's go to the quotes. You want to go to the quotes?
No, you're citing a case that doesn't apply. And it doesn't matter how many times you cite it.
Hold on.
Take him off. Take him off.
Edward.
Mute him. You got the controls. What the hell are you yelling at him for?
I
God
got
damn
it.
it.
Edward, you're
First
gonna have
of
to
all,
Edward, get this tonight, Edward.
Thank you, Edward. I appreciate you. Here, this is the same argument that we were having. I want to say a few days ago. When there is a case and you would like to rely on the propositions that are announced in that case, you want the court to decide that case the same way, right? So you're citing that case because you want this court to decide the same way that case was decided. In order for that to happen, the case has to be analogous. They have to be factually similar in some regard for the court to say, well, this case is like that case, so the outcome should be the same. That's what precedence is, right?
Hold on.
This is not the
Here's
same because
Westmoreland.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hold on.
May we approach?
Hold on, Ike.
You may.
Hold on, Ike. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Judge is back in the courtroom. She's back in. They've been sitting around, eating donuts and so forth. Now she's back. She's approaching. Okay, we get her out of here. She's out of here. Go ahead, Ike. I'm sorry. I thought the judge had something to say. Go ahead.
so
I just heard movement.
So, yeah, I was trying to explain to Edward, right? I agree that if their trial has been delayed over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, then they have a claim to make a motion for a dismissal based on a speedy trial delay, right? Okay.
Right.
This trial has not been delayed.
Hasn't.
They're on trial. They're
There's
actually
been
on
delays,
trial right
but
now.
there's been delays.
There have been delays in the trial,
Right.
right? There have been delays along the way, but he's on trial.
On trial.
He's on trial. So he cannot argue that he is not having a trial, which is what the other guys like. Listen, y'all have to have a trial. He's having a trial.
Right.
He's having a trial. Right. And so there's got to be some other argument that you can make.
Rod is right. The issue is moot. The issue is moot.
The issue is moot.
Right,
Thank you, Rad. Thank you, Rad. Is it Rad or it's Rad? It's Rad.
It's Rad. I'm seeing Rad. Oh,
Rad.
Rad.
It's Rad.
Rad.
It's Rad. Yeah.
So, and we did make the distinction. There's been delays throughout this trial, but the key is this
there have
trial.
been
There's a trial.
yes. Right.
That's the
But
key.
there
There's
is
a trial.
Exactly.
Yeah, so,
exactly.
I'm still like Judge. You can end this nonsense. You could do this.
Yeah, she could end it.
She came in like DA Love and trying to help the no. Looking at no one. First of all, the people that are in the back are now looking at her face because she's face forward.
Exactly. So you're the only one who saw that, Judge.
Right. And I would be
you and the witness.
Right. You and the witness and Miss Percival, Miss Lara Percival.
Right.
She's staff attorney. Shout out to Miss Lara.
And that's not going to be. I mean, yeah. I don't. I think they're gonna come back with a deal.
I think
I mean that little piece of information. If that's true, that the defense lawyers were over at the DA's office sitting with Fonnie, they're trying to work something out.
I think the judge came in saying she came in when she can't get on that bench. When she came up to replace Judge Glanville, he said, "You guys should. I would encourage you to try to work out a plea agreement." She would highly encourage that. So she might have been talking to Judge Glanville, and they may have a conversation. This case is.
I think judges do that typically. That's not uncommon for judges to try to encourage the parties to reach a resolution.
But you can see her frustration throughout this in the last couple of weeks. Her frustration. She's been turning it up, and she's been literally insulting the prosecution.
So, I mean, the other side of that is if they think that she's almost there, they could say, no, we don't want a mistrial now. We'll wait until you are sufficiently pissed off.
Mhm.
Like I literally would say that. No, judge, I don't want a mistrial. I'm going to wait until you are more offended. Let me put it in your. I'm going to wait till you're more offended. I'm going to wait until you stop seeing the excuses that the prosecution is offering you. I'm going to wait until you realize your gatekeeping role. I'm going to wait. We're going to wait. I mean, you could do that.
That's not going to bode well with the defendant.
I don't give a fuck. Right. I mean, that's, depending on how that goes. Like, if that's not an option for them to be getting out, then, then fuck it.
Well, listen, Thug may want to take the deal.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Sitting in jail, away from your family. I saw a post his girlfriend was trying to visit on their anniversary. She wasn't even able to get into the jail. Like, this is taxing. When someone is in jail, their entire family feels that.
Hold on, I just had a thought. If Doug takes the deal, is there still a RICO case? Because he said he's the allegedly supposed to be the head of the
still a RICO case. Why would that change anything? The charges don't change because people take pleas. All those people took pleas that are coming to testify. The RICO's still in place.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, it doesn't affect.
Kevin Trott says, "Stop hating on the prosecution team. Geez, these are black females too. The DA is a black." Also.
I wouldn't give a fuck about none of that, Kevin Trott. I don't like incompetence.
What are you talking about?
And
Kevin?
I don't care what color mediocrity shows up in. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. Because when we show up, we must be excellent. We must.
In the prosecution.
We must be excellent, and they are not.
Right.
They are not.
Kevin, you said that pretty loud it was pretty loud, Kevin. Kevin, I'm gonna drop the link.
That's
Kevin.
right.
I want you to say that to everybody. I want you to come up and you just said that on the link, Kevin.
Say it in my face. Say it in my face.
Click on that link, Kevin. Say that for the world. Come on, Kevin. Let's see you about it.
I think we dealt with that appropriately, right?
Yes, you did.
Kevin's and Jessica and Aries. I think everybody seemed to agree.
So, guys, I dropped the link again. If you want to come up, join the conversation on Twitter. We are live on YouTube. Coming up, you can pick the professor's brain. This is a great conversation, and people are anticipating what's going to happen tomorrow. I got to show up tomorrow. I got to pull up.
You got to be in there. We got 10 more. I'm gonna be on 10 more minutes. For our Ask Me Anything segment.
Right. Ask Me Anything segment.
My AMA segment.
Right. Ask anything.
Ask me anything.
I love the cover.
And also, Kevin, let me just say this. I am a former prosecutor, so I am not hating on the prosecutors. Right. I actually used to be a prosecutor in Manhattan.
A black prosecutor at that. Can you tell?
I was black then. I was black then. I'm still black. So I'm definitely not hating. I'm hating on.
Oh no, Kevin pulled up. Oh no, Kevin.
What happened?
Kevin pulled up.
Yes. Show up. Come on. I don't see him.
Kevin, he's here. I will pull him up. Kevin, get back up.
Put him on.
Back up, Kevin. Back up off of me.
Back it up. Back. What's up, Kevin Kev?
Kevin said, I'm about that life. What's up, Kevin? Talk to me. Kevin, don't get silent now.
Don't get scared now.
Turn your mic.
What's going on?
Keyboard warrior. What's good, Kevin?
We're not hating on the prosecution.
We not.
No.
We not.
No, it's not y'all.
Is everybody else?
Come on, Kevin, talk to us, man. Don't get shy now.
The hate is warranted. The hate is warranted. I mean, they hating all the way from Germany, Kevin. Okay. Then you saw the letter that was sent all the way from Germany, so it's not coming from us.
And then the DA, Fonnie Williams, responded. She wasn't taking it laying down.
Exactly. So the hate is real, and it is not coming from us. It's coming from all over the country.
Shirley, turn some lights on, Shirley. What you doing over there, Shirley? Kevin
don't know what he want to say. I'm not.
Yeah, we called you up. What's up?
Well, I'm just saying the trial is just crazy.
It is.
The trial is crazy, and everybody's hating on the prosecution.
Well, it's warranted. Is it not?
Have you been watching the trial, Kevin? Kevin, have you been watching the trial?
Is there a delay?
Kevin, what's wrong with you?
Are
Kevin.
you delayed?
Kevin, We don't do the math
All right.
anymore.
Let him
Yeah.
go. Let him go. We got another sister on. Well, you outside, sis? What you doing out there?
I'm outside. It's too loud in there.
You broke up. You breaking up. Say that again.
I saw I'm outside. The kids too loud.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
get away from them kids. Okay.
Man,
Shirley, talk to me, Shirley.
What's
Well,
going on?
not really Shirley.
What's going on,
Shirley,
Miss
look,
Shirley?
Miss
Miss-
Shirley.
question. So, what can be done about Miss Love's behavior in this court? Because she has been totally. I have never seen nobody behave the way she has behaved.
Yeah.
Like, what can be done about her?
So, you can file complaints. You can file a complaint with the Georgia. I guess they have a disciplinary committee, or that supervises lawyers when they brought up on ethical charges or ethical violations. So, but the other side of that is you saw the response from Fonnie when she received a letter of complaint about Miss Love. She doubled down. She doubled down. You're doing a great job. You're not going to lose your job here. And so when you have your boss encouraging the behavior,
Right.
that certainly is not going to be any type of impetus for you to change that behavior.
It's like she's been getting away with it for so many years. Like,
She's not just getting away with it. She's been encouraged to play that way.
and that's not cool. You at
It's
the end
not.
of the day, whether they're guilty, not guilty, you have a right. They are still human beings.
Yep. And they are entitled to a fair trial.
And exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and this to her defense, DA Love's defense. She's probably being told by DA Fonnie Willis
What?
to
Mumble under your breath when people say shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
that,
Get the fuck out of here, Dennis. Don't you try to cape for this woman. I ain't not gonna stand for it. I'm not. You lucky I ain't got no soundboard. I want to smack your ass. Whoosh. Whoosh.
Okay, so I'm just saying, listen, she's, what's going to happen ultimately is, this is when she takes any other cases. I mean, she's the most famous person as a prosecutor in America right now.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Everyone knows who DA Love is. Let's not make light of that.
I don't know if I want to go with famous. I think I want to go with
Infamous.
I think
Infamous.
kind of want to go with infamous.
I'm being nice. I got to go in court tomorrow. Be
No.
nice.
I'm still going with infamous. No.
Not that one. Not that infamous. We ain't talking about her. We talking about
No, we're not talking about that. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
love, okay?
Oh my goodness.
Right.
This is the
That
Lord. That probably would. Well, okay. So, Shirley, let me ask you a question. You've been watching this trial for the longest.
I started watching it when Woody started acting a fool. So, yep. I'm good.
Are you convinced one way or the other the way this case is going? And if so, what was it that put you in that position?
I'm going for a mistrial because of the way the evil, sneaky stuff Miss Love was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Try fair. Don't go put some documents in there that was not there before, and the defense team don't have. Oh, but Judge, I can explain. Maybe maybe my ass.
Right.
You not playing fair.
Right.
Judge,
So let me ask you: if you had to vote, if you were a juror on this trial and you had to vote right now, what would your vote be?
mistrial.
No, you can't vote mistrial. You can only vote guilty or not guilty.
Not guilty.
Okay.
Because they have, to me, it's like you bringing up other stuff. Where any of this ties into Jeffrey over here? What did he do? What did this other person do? They all got individual crimes, but how do this all tie into this one person?
Right.
And I agree with you there. I'm not convinced, that
I'm not that all of this had something to do with him.
only thing that I heard that I'm like, okay, who got it right? When Adrian Bean was testifying, and then when he was talking his jail calls being recorded, he said Doug was in the back of the car. But then when he got on the stand, I think he testified there was a woman in the car or something.
Adrian Bean.
Adrian Bean. Those who remember, Agent B's testimony. You probably can attest to that. We have someone else joined us. That is Pulatic. Graham, talk to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had misspelled it. I'm sorry. It's politic, Graham.
All right, politic.
I'm trying to hurry up and type something like, let me hurry up. But yes, okay. It's no disrespect, but I'm just gonna be very frank that this entire trial needs to just come to an end. And as for Mr. Young Thug, I think he needs to sue Bonnie Willis District Attorney Office at this point, because
we're not at that point. We're not at a suing point right now. That's not even
okay. Let me just say this.
He takes a plea.
I think this whole case is just out of place. It's been chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this new judge, she sees things for what it is, but I think that her hands are kind of tied, because at the end of the day, we kind of have to look at everything in the sense that who we have here in Fulton County as district attorney. And it does make a difference, because I want people to understand this is election for Miss Willis. Miss Willis also is running for district attorney November the 5th, once again for her re-election. So I need people to also take into mind all the things that's going on with this YSL case. And in addition with the Trump matter, okay, with his case and the co-defendants, all of this is going on in Fulton County. Yep. And I'm making this statement to say, in my mind, it all comes together. Because with the district attorney, Bonnie Willis, this, in my opinion, and I'm being very, very, very just honest in my opinion, I think this is just another way for her to move up in the political world. And I want people to also take note. And I did my research with the beautiful Miss Bonnie Willis. Okay. She's originally from the same city that Kamala Harris is from. Well, not city, the same state, California.
Right.
And she came to Georgia because Bonnie Willis was running the game in California as far as San Francisco goes. So that was her whole reason to come to Fulton County. She started at
Kamala.
You mean
Kamala was running? Yeah.
Yes. So that was the whole reason for Miss Willis, her reason to come to Fulton. And I feel with Miss Bonnie Willis, I think one attorney said it best. You have to be careful with those type attorneys that switch from public defense and they switch to prosecuting. This is what Bonnie Willis did. And why do I say this? Because Bonnie Willis, we have to take into mind, she represented some of the associates and people that Young Thug, that was working for Young Thug as a public.
Mondo, YSL Mondo.
YSL Mondo. So with things such as that, I kind of looked at this whole case as just a political game. Now, I will say with Young Thug, I will say with him, he should have stayed out of situations, okay? Because when you get to a certain level in the entertainment world, as far as becoming successful, people such as Willis will keep their eye on you, and they will take advantage as far as that political game goes. That's just my whole thing. And as far as this case goes, I want people to kind of open up their mind, open up your eyes, because just like I said, Bonnie Willis is running, and this is the same person that has ignored. She has had no respect when people have subpoenaed her. She has had no respect, even with how much this case has cost Fulton County, even how much the Trump. I don't think people understand. I don't know where you guys are from, but when it comes down to where I live, I see these things. And
Well,
I see,
I'm in Fulton County, and I'm actually part of the pool for the Trump election interference case. So I see where you're going with this.
and so that is the main reason I want to see Fulton in a better light. And I don't like the way it is looking from the outside. And when I say from the outside, as far as even small as the YouTube world, do you know, as far when I say as far as the YouTube world, I have spoken to people who live in other countries. They're asking about, certain policies and political stuff here. So that's why I feel that this YSL case, it's just a game. It's just a political game. And I hate that Young Thug has to be the puppet in all of this. He has to be the puppet.
So, I agree with you, and I want to ask this question: do you think that first of all, do you think that people that are associated with YSL, can we agree that people that have taken, got on the stand and testify, they are a part of the YSL, maybe record label or perhaps some kind of clique in the street, and Thug kind of removed himself years ago, and there are people still that haven't stopped their behavior, and Thug is onto a higher plane? Do you think that he was just easy pickings because people are using his music and his past association with them as a reason to kind of just be what's the point I'm trying to make? Click, just be latch onto his name. Do you think that because of that they went after Thug because he's the biggest target in the whole?
That's why I'm glad. That's the whole reason I started, talking. I like content creators like you guys. You know what I'm saying? You're very informative. You speak facts. So for me personally, with Young Thug, I'm trying to be careful with how I say things. I think Young Thug is just, this is what happens with anybody when you go up to a level and you're a certain color. And I hate to say it that way. I hate to say it that way. When you are a certain color, this is what happens, and it is expected of you to carry yourself a certain way. And with Young Thug, as far as his problem, I'm gonna be honest. From what I looked at, you can't help everybody, right? You can't think that you can pull somebody that's a street person and you just gonna pull them out and just say and be Captain Save-A-Lot. You can't do it. And I think with Young Thug, he tried to still help people who were still out there in the streets, right?
I agree.
And then even with him, I'm gonna be honest, okay? Even what they found at his house and in the car, I think he was still trying to straddle the line.
Absolutely.
You can't be living in Buckhead because he was in Buckhead, right? And the neighbors, they didn't like him. They didn't. The community, they did not. I'm gonna be honest. You can't be in Buckhead, but then on the same tone and level, you still want to do Cleveland Avenue things and ways.
You having your homies pull up in Buckhead, and that's where you got arrested in Buckhead.
Correct.
And the neighbors.
But all of the overt acts are from years ago, from what I recall. I don't remember there being anything recent. Like we're talking 2014, 2015. I mean, it's ancient history.
Right.
It's ancient history that other DAs passed up because they didn't think it was prosecutorial worthy. It didn't have prosecutorial merit.
Shout out to Paul Howard.
Right. But then we get a pretentious little social climber who want to ride the backs of these black men to political positions that they otherwise are not qualified for. Hey, it is what it is. I call it like I see it. I call it balls and strikes.
And see, this is why, for me personally, I see things for what it is, And Fonnie Willis, she, it's nothing against her. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's the game she wants to play, her and Nathan Wade, if that's the game they want to play. Because I mean, everything I say, I mean, you can't play with me. I have receipts, and I'm not trying to be messy, but I'm like, you got to carry yourself a certain way.
A certain
You have to,
way.
you have to carry yourself in a certain tone because, and I want to state this, and I want to mention one person that I really feel lost a lot of respect, and I feel that I look at her so different now, and I have respect for her, and I wish people like her would come back to Atlanta, and that's Keisha Lance Bottoms. I didn't understand her when she was mayor. I didn't, but when I see the things that's going on, and now she's a senior advisor for Kamala Harris campaign. I see the things that's going on. I understand why she moved the way she moved, and then to top it off, what do we have now? I want somebody like Keisha Lance Bottoms to come back, because what people don't realize.
To what? You don't like the current Mr. Andre Dickens? You don't like the job he's doing as the mayor, because she was the mayor as well, and she was also city council president.
I'm going to plead the fifth with him, because he's from Atlanta, and he did graduate from Georgia Tech as an engineer. So I'm going to plead the fifth with the black man that's a single parent whose daughter is doing a phenomenal job. So I don't want to put that black man down, okay? But all I'm going to say is I need Keisha Lance Bottoms to come back and be the voice, because people don't realize she changed a lot of things behind the scenes, even with Summer Hill. Summer Hill was a desert. Summer Hill was a desert when it did not have a grocery store for the community. And then people have to people don't understand with Fonnie Willis. She wants to do all of this, but she has never really been seen in Fulton County. Does that make sense? She has never been seen. So with this YSL case, I think it's a complete utter mess. And I think Young Thug would be the one that they're using as a puppet. And I pray that there's a mistrial. I pray that it is, because he's the one losing money. This county, this city is the one that's losing money.
That's right.
That's a fact.
And nobody should have to stay in jail as long as these co-defendants, and even with Young Thug, people have to understand, like, people's lives are being affected, and it's wild that Fonnie Willis is doing all of this, even to the point, and I'll say this, even to the point with the prosecutors that she has working in her office that's working on this case. This is just not right. It's not right.
She's costing Fulton County money simply by not doing her job in response to providing open records.
Right.
Like, why is there litigation over open records?
Right. And
that's crazy. And it's unheard of. And to have a court then order that you all have to pay these attorneys for the time that they have spent fighting you to get shit you got.
Right. I saw that. John Merchant, I saw what he said in his closing. This is incredible. And a lot of people don't see, a lot of people in Fulton County don't see how significant that just that battle was. It's something that you had 72 hours to respond.
Right.
But then you respond, but you don't really respond and say, well,
respond. Right.
Have it. It's going to cost this amount to get this, and we got to make these copies. You don't tell them anything. You just say, well, we're looking into it. That's not a response.
No, they said, we don't have anything. We don't have anything. Their response was, we don't have anything. And their argument was that even the emails from the Fulton County District Attorney's Office are not in the possession of the Fulton County District Attorneys. And even the judge was like, make that make sense for me? Like, I'm not sure I even understand what you're saying. You're saying, right, you're saying that your office does not have access to your own emails. And they were literally arguing that it's IT, the IT people.
It's your inbox. How about that? It's in your inbox.
This is what I'm saying. Even the lawyer, she's like, no, sometimes when I go to search for an email, it's not there because IT has archived it and I can't access it. So we don't have access to all the email.
I want to say this. You know what I'm comparing this. You want to know what I'm comparing this case to? I could not let you guys let me know, okay? Because I really believe Fonnie Willis is a Kamala Harris Jr. in the making.
Hell no.
Wait. Let me see. Let me see. No, I'm gonna tell you why I say this. I'm gonna tell you why I say this. Because even how this case is going on, right? Mm-hmm. And people are really looking at the prosecutors like, wow, they don't have the stuff together. It's chaotic. And then like they should have it together, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, if we go back and look at how Jamal True Love case was handled, we go back to how the prosecutor Linda Allen that was over Jamal True Love's case in California, how that was handled, and then look at the outcome because of that, right? They did not want to acknowledge or bring in the DNA test. They did not want to bring that in. He had to get his attorneys to bring it and challenge it. Because had not that DNA test came in to prove his innocence, he would still be serving a 50-year sentence, right?
But
so now let's look at
more. That happens.
Every prosecutor has a Willie Horton.
Yeah,
right. I mean, I think that's what that is.
So that's why I say. I don't know. I mean, with Fonnie, it's making me wonder. Like, I really believe she's really trying to go up on the levels.
My issue with Fonnie is she needs a mentor. She needs a mentor because her independent judgment is awful.
She had it. His name was Paul Howard.
Okay, I don't know about that, but she needs someone who she can call up, a trusted confidant, who can give her guidance and say, listen, that's not the way you want to show up. That's not how you want to show up. You know what I mean? And not these, these people who want to slap five over the seat and cheer her on, for showing up raggedy. Correction. You showing up with the odor of mendacity. You think that's okay? You think that's okay? It's not. And the odor is wafting. It's wafting. It is absolutely wafting. It's wafting all over everything she touches. Everything, every single thing.
And she's taking loss after loss after loss, and it's just like
yeah. So there's the open record she lost, and so I'm sure that all these ethical hearings and whatnot, there's going to be something culminates from those investigations. It has to be.
I didn't even think about the whole Georgia Senate that is still
doing a hearing. They're still doing ethics and whatnot.
Yeah,
and Ashley Merchant, she on her ass. She ain't going nowhere fast.
She said,
but this is my. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
This is my question though. I would have looked at Fonnie Willis very different had Governor Barnes been part of the prosecution team. And I say that because he stated that he was asked to be on her team, right? Special prosecution team, right? But he declined it. But my whole thing is, why are you representing her now as her attorney? Why are you representing her now?
He wasn't representing. What is he representing in what? In which? Because he's not representing the in that hearing.
No, not in the hearing. No. He's her. I forget what it's called. You can look it up. He is representing her now as far as being her personal attorney, dealing with this, the subpoena, refusing to come to the committee. He is her active attorney on that spectrum. But my whole thing is this: if you didn't want to participate on the forefront, you don't need to participate on the back end as far as being her representative, because just like it was said, Fonnie Willis is leaving a bad smell. And I think you being the former governor, Governor Barnes, you don't need to be in any of this at this point. And Fonnie Willis, she's not going to listen to anybody. Why? Because we have to look at who she has, giving her the high fives. She has the support of Shirley Franklin. She has the support of Governor Barnes, former Governor Barnes. She has the support of even the mayor, this current mayor. She has the support of all these key intervals. So in her mind, she's like, I can't be stopped. I won't be stopped.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think the chances of Courtney Kramer getting a surprise win? And she's running for district attorney against Fonnie Willis. What do you think? What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on Courtney Kramer. Oh boy. Oh, why you ask that? Okay. My thoughts on Courtney Kramer, I think with her, I don't think she's going to win. The only reason I don't think she's going to win is because of what she said. And it's like, people they're here in Fulton County, you know how it is. It's like, we're not for Trump. We're quote unquote pro-black. So we're going to support Fonnie Willis. We're who is this young girl, this young Courtney Kramer? She's this, so, and Courtney Kramer did state that if I become district attorney.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I can't let her leave the building, sneak out the back door.
I was trying to slide to the left. I gotta go. I love y'all. I love y'all. I really do. But I gotta get out of here. Sorry, Politic Graham. I didn't mean to cut out on your comment. But keep going, because you want it, girl. You own it.
Ooh, I'm sorry. No, I just came in the middle.
No, you was good. Yeah, you came in on the end, and that's all right. I just got to get out of here.
Now you're in the middle. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. All right, family. I will talk to
you.
Thank you,
Thank you. I appreciate you. I really do.
All right, fam. Peace.
Well, like I said, with Courtney Kramer, I want her to win. I do really want her to win. I want anybody to win other than Fonnie Willis. But but I think with her, I don't know if she has the pull that she needs to win to become Fulton County District Attorney, right? I think for Fonnie Willis, the only way she will lose, it would have to be another incident like what happened to Paul Howard. Maybe somebody in Fonnie Willis' office is going to have to, run her over, like she did Paul Howard. Okay, maybe that would be the way.
Well, he ultimately beat that case, the accusation in federal court. So yeah, he's good. But yeah, I think she's getting she's getting a nice spanking, even with the Senate, and with what happened with Ashley Merchant, and they're successful win the Merchant law firm, and it's just a lot. Hopefully she she can really show some grace to these defendants, in that this is putting people, not just the defendants, but the lawyers. So this case is putting lawyers in poverty right now. Look at Dee Williams. She's fighting for more money. She's not getting $100,000 for this case. She's not getting that kind of money. This is a $1 million case. They can't take any other cases. Some of the attorneys are slipping in and out because they have partners and everything. But this is literally hurting even the jurors. So consider the jurors. These are also taxpaying citizens of Fulton County. Consider the jurors. It's a lot to be to be considered. So let's see what happens tomorrow. And with that, because I do have an early morning as well, I appreciate you coming up. Politics Graham for DA. What, you running for DA?
Oh no, I'm not a DA. It's no. My page is called Politic Graham. I'm sorry, I'm not for the DA. No.
Well, that's what it says on your title, so I don't know what that's all about.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I think let's see if I had anyone else up here that I've missed. I don't think so. This was a good live. As a matter of fact, I'm going to keep this running for a few more minutes, but I'm going to drop you down, and hopefully you stay in touch. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and on YouTube as well.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Whoo! My goodness, who's still with? We got like 2,800 people still with us. I can't leave you guys just yet. You got 26 on just 26 alone, 2,600 on Twitter alone. What's going on? You guys need to come over. Listen, you guys are watching on Twitter. You need to come over to Hip Hop Enquirer on YouTube and join the conversation. You need to come on there. At least you can even type a comment. I see your Twitter comments coming in on YouTube because we watch on YouTube. Okay, so someone's asked me to sing. They want me to sing for you tonight. I won't do it. Be nice now. Listen, you just got your wrench. There you go. You want me singing? Shannon Giuliano. That's what's up. Shannon said we in there. Okay. If you're watching on Twitter, go to your browser and type in www.youtube.com/& Hip Hop Enquirer. I don't have to do that. I can just type it here. I'm gonna type it here. I'm gonna tell you what I want you to do. I'm gonna type it right here. I do have a moderator here because she could have typed it in. I kind of gave her a little hint. Anyway, let me type it in. Let's see here. Hey, let's see here. She's warming up. She just came in. She just joined the team tonight. I'm gonna do it like this. Okay. We'll do it like this. Come, let's go do this like this. You got me doing production side. Okay, let's see. Okay. Here we go. You just click on that link. Y'all watching on YouTube, click on that link. We're gonna pin it as well. How about that? That's how you join us on YouTube. You can click that link and join us on YouTube. You can definitely follow the page on YouTube. I typed the whole URL so people don't have to, figure it out. So that is posted. That's how you find us on YouTube. You can go ahead and click that, follow us. Usually when Giuliano, she's been around for a while, Giuliano. We don't give wrenches away like that. You got to put some work in here. I got to see you. You just can't be pulling up. You could be the op. We don't do that. She's been a low follower. You got to, put some work in. Okay. So this is what you do, guys. You go ahead and you click on that link and come over here and subscribe. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. We take donations, of course. It costs a lot to cover a trial like this, ladies and gentlemen. You don't understand. When I had to bring Big Bertha out, it costs a lot. Shannon, I know. I'm just kidding with you, Shannon. I don't mean to insinuate that you're op. I don't mean to insinuate that you're op. So you guys, you enjoyed the conversation. You brought in a well-seasoned attorney. She's been my friend for years, and she has edge. I love that edge. I'm from New York. I like the edge. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow's gonna be interesting. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be real interesting. I tell you what, guys, I'm gonna take a comfort break, a 5-minute comfort break, and I'll be back with you guys. I want you to hang in there. We'll be back, so hang in the chat, and and we're gonna talk about some things. Just hang in there. Let me just throw up that picture real quick. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I am back. Stand by. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Hold on. Let's get this thing out of here. Get that band out of here. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. You still with me? You guys still with me? You guys still put a 1 in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. You still with me? Put a 1 in the chat. I need to get some Gatorade. All right. Okay, see. Okay, let's see what that missed. Shut it down. Absolutely jazzy lady. She can call the case tonight. But I don't think it's going to happen like that. It's going to have to happen in a big way. In court tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Okay, guys. All right. So I just read the comments. Everything. It's. I think a lot of stuff we addressed already. I'm going to drop the link one more time, guys. If you want to come in and add to the conversation, I know we covered a lot. I have about 15 more minutes, then we're going to end the live. But I'm going to drop the link one more time. We got 2,800 of you watching right now on Twitter. Let's see here. Let me check where you guys coming from. A second here. And then we have some of my folks that checked in on my personal page over there. Let's see here. Hold on. Okay, we'll remove that out of there. All right, we'll move that there. Okay. Let's say that. All right. All right, okay. All right, guys, let me check in on Twitter real quickly. Guys, I want to talk. This story was shared to me today by the great attorney Pamela, attorney Pam. She shared the story with me today, and it was a story about the ex-Abercrombie and Fitch CEO who received an ankle monitor after posting $10 million bail for an essay charge, sex trafficking charge. He gets a bail, and he's not even a U.S. citizen. This is crazy. I'm looking at the story now. I'm gonna read this story. It was sent to me. It was posted on Fox News. Let's see here. Let's see here. Where do we start at here? Okay, so this story is pretty much talking about he's let's see, longtime Abercrombie & Fitch CEO arrested in federal sex trafficking probe. And his name is, why is this not standing out? His name should be right in the title. You see how they put Diddy's name in the title? Mike Jeffries, his partner Matthew Smith, and a third man named James Mr. Cook Jacobson, charged with sex trafficking. Okay, so now it's khaki shorts, fleece slippers, and an ankle monitor for former Abercrombie & Fitch boss Mike Jeffries, who federal prosecutors accused of sex trafficking and forced prostitution Tuesday. He left a Florida court after posting $10 million bill with a security detail and an ankle monitor, new photos show. Why is this important? Well, while he's in Florida and he's federally prosecuted, they all work under the umbrella of the U.S. attorney. The U.S. attorney. And Sean Puffy Combs have similar charges, wasn't granted a bond at all. He got an ankle monitor, and he has this Jeffries has a bunch of charges, but he has been given a $10 million bond and an ankle monitor, free to move around the United States. Jeffries is 80, and his partner Matt Smith, 61, were arrested at their home in West Palm Beach on Tuesday morning. For the first time since their arrest, the company also commented publicly on the matter Wednesday. We got a nice little photo too. All right. As we shared when the accusations were first made public in October 2023, we are appalled and disgusted by the alleged behavior of Mr. Jeffrey, whose employment with Abercrombie & Fitch Company ended nearly 10 years ago. The company stated in an Instagram post, "Speaking up and coming forward is not easy, and our thoughts remain with those who have bravely raised their voices as part of the federal investigation." So he's not even tied to a major corporation. He's a former CEO, but he got a $10 million bond. Interesting. Under the same Department of Justice that Puff Daddy, Sean Puffy Combs, is being prosecuted under. Sean Combs offered $50 million bond. He offered a $50 million bond and has 3 counts. Pretty interesting story. Any comments, ladies and gentlemen? Any comments about this particular story as it relates to Mr. Combs and Jeffries? It's kind of let's just say I can say a bunch of things, but I won't say it right now. Oh, Penny said, you heard he had, wait a minute. I got to research the story. Right. So Puffy, Sean, Diddy doesn't get a bond. And I hope these lawyers are looking at this that represents Mr. Combs, because they're all under the Department of Justice. Merrick Garland is the U.S. attorney. I'm sure he would have to green light these bonds. He had to green light this. He didn't make this. The local U.S. attorney didn't had to probably defer to the Merrick Garland, who's in head of the Justice Department. The same way Damian Williams in SDNY had to let his boss know what his intent was. So something's not adding up here. I mean, they both are flight risks. So I don't know what the reasoning behind that is. But I'll tell you something. A lot of people, I could say this tonight. I'll say this. There's a high likelihood that Sean Puffy Combs' case gets dismissed. You'll probably say, what are you talking about, Mr. Byron? What do you mean? His case is slated to start May 5th in New York. Can anyone guess what will happen for sure between, okay, if President Trump wins, what will happen with Mr. Damian Williams' job? He will be replaced as the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. He will be replaced. There will be the house will be cleaned. He will likely be replaced. And also the person who's the EDNY, Eastern District of New York, Mr. I want to say Pierce, will be replaced as well. Both Southern District and Eastern District, pretty much anyone under the old administration will likely be replaced. It happens all the time. And then former President Trump, if he becomes 47, he may decide to direct his Department of Justice to drop the case. And this is just what can happen. One thing's guaranteed, that the current U.S. attorney who is prosecuting Puff Daddy will be out of a job if Trump wins. He'll be out of a job. People didn't know about that. They didn't think about that. I'll tell you who else will probably not get prosecuted as well. Mayor Adams, New York City Mayor Adams. We did hear at the Al Smith roast where former President Trump was talking, and he kind of sympathized with Mayor Adams and saying that they're going after you too. He didn't like that. Hey, I'm just saying, listen. Former President Trump has pardoned people that some would have said, hey, well, how do you get a pardon? How do you get a pardon? But if the president, former president, if he happens to prevail in this election, I tell you who's the first charge getting dropped. His charges are getting dropped. All federal cases are going away. All his federal cases are going away. Rest assured. And I don't think that when he gets out of office that New York will put this 80-something-year-old guy in jail, the former president of the United States. I don't see that happening. Because there's a lot going to happen between now and the time he gets out of office if he is successful. So you guys got to watch the plays here. There's some interesting plays. There's a lot at stake here, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot at stake. Someone said, "Who wants to?" Okay, this is. I'll respond to that. I saw what you said. I'm gonna post that. I have to Google that. Who wants to start a federal career letting Diddy go scot-free with over 10 terabytes of video? First of all, this will likely be, unless Trump changes something, this will be his last term. And we know he's going to appoint judges, more judges, district judges, appeal court judges, circuit court judges, There's already 4 justices, 5 justices that are Republican, and he'll likely appoint another one. I think if he wins, Clarence Thomas is going to retire, and then he'll replace him. But listen, this happens. If he feels that there were politics involved in getting Dinkins charged, he may decide to correct a wrong. That may just happen. And this is all speculation. But politics, listen, there's a lot of things at play here. There are a lot of things at play here. Right. And this is not what, I think every victim deserves to have their case heard. But there's things that the president can do that, he has the power to do that. The question is, would he do that? There are a lot of people. Let me point out this as well. If he wins, all those people who got convicted in the January 6th riot, they're probably all getting off. He said it. He's going to pardon them. They all getting off. These are the things that will happen once he becomes president if he wins. There are a lot of people are going to walk free. Even though you had a district judge who found people violated the law. These are some of the things that you got to consider. These things are going to happen. Listen. But I'm not. Don't. When I say what Jackson. Let me say this, please. Let me say this, Jackson. Let's see, Jackson. Don't do that to me, Jackson. He's not. Listen, I've already voted, and I'm not sure who I voted for. I'm just talking what can happen. I'm just Jackson. Come on, Jackson. Don't do me that way. Jackson, I'm gonna drop the link. We're gonna have a conversation. Listen. When people get in the comment section, I just tell them come up on the screen. Get on the screen. Pull up. I dropped the link. You pull up, Jackson. You tell me why my theory doesn't make sense to you, Jackson. I dropped the link if you want to pull up. And it's not just from Jackson. Who wants to join the conversation? We're not going to talk Colby Luna. Oh, Jackson. Come on, Jackson. Don't do me that. Jackson, she's not talking right now, Jackson. She's not talking right now, Jackson. PW, don't let him do me that way. Don't let him do me that way. Oh, says that jazz. Oh my goodness. Oh man. It's just my opinion. That's it. It's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Someone said, I'll hold my nose and vote for Trump. Listen, all I'm saying, whoever you vote for, make sure you vote. That's all. Why you gonna windmill on me? You gonna be windmilling on me? Oh my goodness. You want to become a windmill, and that's just crazy. Don't do that. Please don't do that. All right, guys, listen, I got to take it in. I appreciate you. I really do. We are now going to end this live. But make sure you are tuned in, ladies and gentlemen, on Twitter, because we're going live in the courtroom tomorrow. We're going live. Make sure you are tuned in. Everyone is anticipating how this unfolds. I am too, and I'll be there tomorrow. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. I really do. We are going to end this live. We're going to end it how we started it. And you know how we started it, right? You know how we started it. Well, we're going to end it how we started it. How did we start it? I forgot how we started. I even forget how we started it. No, I didn't. I'm trying to figure if I want to sing or take you out with a song first. Should I take you guys out with a song? Psych, I'm not doing it. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.